FXBros.
What up? What up? We are back. June 9th. We are in the end of the second quarter. We are approaching the halfway mark of the year. We are in primarily the summertime. We should see a continuation of added volume throughout the rest of this summer. I believe interest rate decisions probably is going to make play a key role in the volume that gets added into this market or into the dollar in general, especially with the recent job numbers that just came out with that extreme increase, according to what was the consensus. Nonetheless, that resulted, as you can see, NFP was released last Friday, which resulted in a sell-off, basically breaking through this consolidation. And notice we did have a breakthrough to the upside, but it failed to properly retrace. Well, it did retrace, but it failed to properly retest and continue higher. And from that point, as you can see, we also had multiple opportunities for you to get into sales if you were leaning more towards that. And these two bullish points could have given you more than enough reason to kind of be, not so hesitant to count the bears out as far as the potential for this move. Even though we did get a bullish engulfing here at levels that the lows were tested but not properly broken through, so we still had signs that the market could still be potentially inching higher, because from this point we had clean and easy consolidation until it got into this pretty much the beginning of last week. Yeah, Sunday started pretty much around here. Met this low. That's when price broke, well beyond this consolidation range, but still failed to continue higher. And that was the initial sign. Even though we did have this breakout right here, it did pull back into the range, but subsequently continued higher, especially after this bullish engulfing coming from this initial one on Monday morning, from these lows, double bottom right here, which is going to be a sell side target for sales. Nonetheless, we did get a bearish engulfing as soon as we popped out of this range. But one key thing that stood out was this wick that potentially could be filled if the momentum was still higher. And we did get that momentum shift here with this bullish engulfing that continued to fill the rest of this wick range. And as soon as after that, we started to get signs of reversal. And it's funny that happened soon after we swept the liquidity at this high. Even though we couldn't have easily turned around right here and just kept lower, but market wanted to entice the last few buyers into the market to sell off on. And that's ultimately what happened. And we come right down to these targets, which is this double bottom, strong support. Didn't break through, but we did test this low. If anybody had any stops resting below, probably not. I mean, if you in this buy, you probably already move your entry to break even or something like that. So, nonetheless, market swept this low. We continued higher. And that's when we started to enter into this new range within a range, if you feel. You know, if you see this consolidation right here, it was met on both sides, right up in here, kind of had a slight breakout, came back within that range, broke out again. Still in all within this larger range, but as you can see, you see how the market consolidated here from start from Friday into Sunday and Monday. So if you look at it like that, this same scenario, this consolidation range right here, that's within this larger range, broke out right here with a failed retest that could continue higher. Same thing as this breakout did. Broke out, retest, could continue higher. Overall, for this to be a true bullish breakout, if you were still leaning on the buys, which you had every right to be, I mean, none of the lows were properly broken through and traded through with a continuation. So you had every right to think that the buys were going to continue high, unless if everything was in alignment with the larger time frame. So you have to look at how the daily is closing and how the 4 hours closing, because it's pretty much the whole week that happened, which really wasn't much until we got in the feet. NFP actually released around this hour, so we got to push higher initially, but ultimately the Bears were winning, and it showed in this substantial sellout that resulted in a bearish break out of that range, which kind of looks like more of a setup for a proper retest and then continuation for selling. If not, as long as we don't properly trade above, if we break into this range above 66.34, just kind of the midpoint of this actually hourly candle, but nonetheless midway for this full range. As long as we stay below there as far as trading and closing above, we don't need to be above 66.40. We could come in and win in this area. If we trade back above here, then we might be experiencing a bearish fake out. And we won't even start to talk that until we come back into this range. So ultimately, we're looking for a bounce off of 65.95. You can go that high. In the range of 65.92, 65.95, we'll look for the market to trade up to that and then look for signs to sell. Which is showing that the 4 hours should struggle to close above the 65.92, 95 area. We might get closes above this on the 1 hour, but as long as the 4 hours still showing signs of struggling to trade up higher, we should be good. So we look at the 4 hours, that would look like, one, what we don't want, we really don't want a bullish engulfing on the 4 hour. We get that. Then you need to kind of take a step back before you hop into sales and wait for a strong rejection on the 1 hour or just weak candles being developed on the 4 hour that can entice you, like indecision candles like this on the 4 hour that can kind of leads you into believing that we might still be bearish because the bulls are having a hard time creating, bearish confirmation, bullish confirmations with a firm, uh, heavy volume type of size candle, like you see here, especially here, all these big body candles versus these right here. These are indecision. They don't know if they want to keep going lower, going higher, but ultimately, the market did go higher. But you get this around the point to where the market is looking to make a transition from selling off to buying up. The market is a trend, especially at the beginning of trends, and typically the end of the trends. That's when you would see the larger size candle. But you just got to be patient and wait for these candles to close, so you can even have that as an objective to go off of. Because as the candle is still being created, you really don't know which way it's going to go or which kind of story is trying to tell you until that candle or that chapter closes. The daily, we do got a bearish engulfing on Tuesday, so that kind of added into sales. One that I can say that it was a fight. So the bears did engulf this one, but it took this large body to properly engulf this one. Yeah, we did get a bullish engulfing here on the daily, but it didn't really have too much to fight for. You feel me? As far as trying to create a bullish, trade type of scenario for this pair. Nonetheless, all this area, and now meeting with this previous high on the daily, anything above here shouldn't be looked at too much as a buy unless it be falling deep into a discount scenario. So the last swing low to swing high, you would measure that on the fibs, and anything below 50% would be discount, anything above premium. So you'd be looking for trades in that area, which would be this one. This would be the last bullish scenario that you would want to be looking at, which is Friday on the 24th, because this bullish scenario still had the potential to trade high and targets high, which we actually we see that it met. A bullish engulfing near the highs, as close as the highs up here, is not something you want to be intrigued about. Like if you get in, great, use a tester. The market continues higher, add more on 4 hour or 1 hour. But as we can see, then that scenario never happened. Nonetheless, we got the reverse of that with this bearish engulfing that had to forcefully fill this whole bullish candle's body. But nonetheless, it was met right around a previous high. So you got resistance, strong resistance being created on the daily with a bearish engulfing. It's more the story probably was leaning more towards bear. Even on a smaller time frame, everything was looking bullish as far as the structure. But if you take a step back and look at the larger time frames, the picture seems to be a little bit more brighter for you to make, the right, at least to come up with the right bias. Let's see with the weekly. We did trade below these wicks, all these projection wicks on the weekly. Not the cleanest of traffic, but still some pretty clean traffic on the weekly, at least all the way down to this low of 64.62, which we're roughly about 110, 120 pips away-ish. Something easily the weekly can do. So I wouldn't mind seeing a bearish daily candle or weekly candle. It will make sense. I feel like the market could have been better off with a bearish candle if it was going to be bearish, but not close below these wicks. Kind of give it another rejection wick and then a continuation higher. Because if we was already at these highs, why not continue higher? It was rejecting here for a reason. It needed to reach above all this liquidity for a reason. And the sell-off looks a little bit more promising to me, especially, looking at how the charts are set up. Candlesticks. Let's look at the monthly, what the monthly could do. This is a new candle. So we could be in a scenario where the monthly could fully engulf this bullish move. Maybe this bearish scenario from this engulfing on January is not finished. The continuation of this move was supposed to be somewhere down here near these lows to test 2020's COVID low. And probably to get there, we needed to break this strong monthly support that we had from 2022 October and 2023 October. Maybe that scenario. Maybe we might just feel this whole bullish push that we did for the month of we'll only know as we continue, but I wouldn't be too mad at the Bears getting back at their continuation stronghold that they had so far since January 1st. As you can see, for the whole year, we've been selling out. Lower. It wasn't until May, all of a sudden, we get a bullish push. And not only was it like just a little bullish push right here with a wick, okay, continue higher, okay, we seeing the continuation, the trend starting to move higher. No, it was a strong one single candle taking off April, March, and February. 3 months. All that work for nothing. So you gotta kind of look at it like this scenario. Or the bull is just gonna, take that. Or it's just gonna go on like that. So let's look at the fibs and see what we have for our mid-range level. So bam. If we were gonna continue bullish, we would need to see some hesitation pretty much right up under here, under this 50% level, which would be a discount. So we would need to see some kind of hesitation near here for this month, more consolidation for the rest of the month of June, and then a bullish increase for the month of July. We can look at, the fundamentals to support that, to see how shifts in the economy as far as interest rates and jobs, CPI and all that, to see how that's going to shape the continuation of this bullish push, if it's really going to be true, or will we reject this and continue lower by filling this whole move up? I just fade that shit like it was never there. So we'll see. We shall see. Check this out. Let's look at the news right quick.
Would you say one of my favorite numbers, autumn? Oh, I wish we could
As we can see, we do have news coming out on Monday with this Australian session. That news release won't be dropped until 8:30. And that is the NAB or the NAB business confidence. We got that coming out 8:30 Monday. June 10th, Tuesday, no news, but we do have China with the inflation rate, which is very low. Wednesday, CPI, 730, core inflation rate, 730. Inflation rate month over month, year over year. Fed interest rate decision coming out at 1. FOMC economic projections coming out at 1. Fed press conference coming out at 1:30, followed by Australian news later that evening. At 7:30, we have Westpac unemployment rate, unemployment change at 8:30. Wednesday going to be crazy, followed by a continuation of more craziness on Thursday, as we already know, continuous jobless claims, PPI, and then Friday, Michigan consumer sentiment. Yeah, it's about to be a crazy, crazy week. So potentially, if you're not in the market by Tuesday in a good position with, with your bias correct, which is, all difficult things to do, but that's why we love the game. Trying to crack the code. Yeah, this week will be a nice, profitable week for people. What's up, brother? I can't even hear you, fam.
No, my
There
bad.
we go.
Yeah, man, I was out here just chilling, bro. I was getting my stuff together, but that's pretty much everything right there.
What the River Shack?
Oh yeah,
Nice.
there we go, man. Right quick.
What's up, man? Congratulations, boy.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. How you doing, bro? How you feeling?
doing good.
Nice.
Doing good. Discussing these.
But yeah, I was listening. I was tuned in. I just was on the phone with my mom. All love, everything good. But yeah, you are right. Keep going in about the news. Everything's looking good right now.
Yeah, so this week is gonna be real news heavy, volume heavy. So we need to be mindful of that. Like I said, I would really just stay away from the market for sure Wednesday. For sure. Leading into Thursday. Like treat it like NFP. It's so much going on. You don't
don't enter.
Like, what's going on? Why is moving? Like, you should not be asking that question on Wednesday without, at least looking at what the damn news is about to be. Because it ain't like they tell you the day of. They give you time to pre-plan this shit. Don't get slapped in the face on Wednesday because it's some heavy, heavy news coming up. Like all day, all night type shit. If you do want to catch something, I would say Thursday early in the morning London time would probably be a good time to look for a good entry, or midnight after all the dust settles from all the news that's coming out on Wednesday day and night. Let that shit settle and then look for what the market could reverse into or pull back into from the Thursday news.
Yeah.
You might be to catch a double whammy, catch that pull back and then catch the continuation type scenario.
Wait until the next session, man. That's always a good thing. I like to say. You don't see nothing going on in a certain session that you like, just wait until the next one. If you like to do that London, New York time, that shit is brutal, but by all means, run it, but I like to do it on both different sides. So I like that Asian, you know what I'm saying, session and look for something possibly overnight. And if not, for sure, the New York will always bring something.
But
I mean, they all bring something. Let's keep it real. But
some are more consistent than others.
Facts. More consistent and more volatile.
Saying this, the Asian session is the Asian in Australian session. That shit, and I'm gonna say this: the Asian session going into the London session. Now, so it's the Asian session, but that crossover, that's starting to be the most volume heavy session, dog. I'm gonna be real with you, bro. I've been looking at it for this. Really, I've been looking at it for this whole year since January, looking at it on smaller time frames, and when you combine the full volume move for each session, nigga, the Asian session starting to show their ass.
Yeah, you can catch that switch during that time. Like if it goes, you know what I'm saying, it tops out or whatever, or bottoms out and it switches back around, or just overall, you can just catch that early entry and just float for the most part. So yeah, I do see that happening. Like put it like this: when I do have an entry, I put it in for overnight tester around that time when it overlaps. That's when it's going to TP or stop loss, whatever it does too on either side.
Right.
That's when that volume, like you said, that's when that heavy volume really comes in, and you know.
Nah, fact.
But yeah, it's continuing what it's doing, man. Yeah, it's just doing what it's doing.
Are there any targets you would like to call out? Do you need to see more? Or how do you feel about your, the bullish bias we had last week? How you feel about that now?
Those days are over. I mean, I still like it, but I don't like it until it get to.
I mean, we're having traffic to buy into if it turn around.
Exactly. So, but it'll have to turn around. I mean, honestly, bro,
You need to do this scenario. Yeah, the market is starting to like sell off and then turn around. Like it need to create a bullish candle right here. This gonna be a prime candle. If this candle don't turn bullish, it could be a telltale sign for something.
yeah. But even but look at on the weekly though. That's why I'm like, shit gotta happen on the weekly for me to be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and then look at the monthly. Look how the monthly can turn into just an eat up scenario. Like it could eat up what last month did. It could continue bearish.
Yes. Wow. Yeah.
Like putting it to say like May was just a large induction of them taking profit and buying up the market so they could get more sales in for the continuation of the year.
Yeah. Yep, I do. I can see that happening, man. This week is just a continuation of what happened the first week of this month, and we got some good things to look forward to. I mean, even on the daily. I mean, okay, daily it makes sense. Like I could see some type of rejection between, and this is a fucking huge range, if it is a range, if I could call it. But what is that? 65, 65, all the way to 64, 70.
Yeah.
Like it's just, all of that. Like, is it gonna shoot and shoot past through that? Now, if it shoots past, what is it, 65, 50 and closes like real strong and heavy, then yeah, we got targets to 64.
Really?
64 cents flat. Yeah, if we do that closure below 65.50.
Yeah.
65.50 real strong with a nice clean. Yeah, I like targets for sure to 64.70 and ultimately 64 flat.
Yeah, that's why I got this old 4-hour gap I've been retesting from.
So yeah, man, go ahead if you want to do that. I'm all for that.
What team?
It looks good.
Early birthday gift, man.
Come on.
Yeah, definitely within these next few daily candles, it'll be nice to get a close below that area. 65.50. Yeah.
I mean, what you like? You looking for more of the bullish, bullish side, bearish side, or both sides? Just opportunities because high volume, high high impact news is coming out this week. Is like what you looking like?
I'm looking at just the fact that from that initial range we had, when we was in this range right here, we popped out. Well, actually, this older range we was in the 4-hour, we popped out but traded back into it, and it's rejecting this old high. So I feel like the bulls had their chance to break highs and continue higher. Even though I know for it to continue higher, it needs to pull back into some type of, you know, liquidity to take out all these stops for people that were holding longs, if you look at it in that scenario. But I also feel like from this push higher, the market had every right to continue and go higher if that's what it was. If that's what the idea was. But now that we have rejected those highs and created, a double top scenario, I think the market has every right to feel what it did on the opposing side, which would be at least for sure taking out this low, this wick low of 65, let's say 65.50, just to be easy. But ultimately coming down as low as 64.80. Just like you said, was 65.50, 65.40, all the way to 64.80. Ultimately, would be like still in play for easy targets for the, because right now, if you're looking at the larger scale, it never really truly broke out of this range.
That's true. That is true.
It wasn't a true breakout. And if it was going to, it retested back into the range, struggled to go higher, and now it broke forcefully back into this range. So now we could look at it from that standpoint and say, yeah, we're at least, if not going to break out of the range, we're at least going to retest the bottom, which would be the low of 64.80 or 64.70. And we would get even more confirmation for that scenario to play out after this week passes. After all this heavy news, CPI, Fed rate, FOMC, all this stuff we got coming out. I'm thinking we got, every right. If the fundamentals is going to play in our side for a bearish market to continue lower, then yeah, I can see that happening. And then we got to look for what's going to be the continuation of the year, because basically if that happens, that'll basically, or could basically wrap up the month of June, which would also wrap up the first half of the year. So with the second half of the year, we're going to continue to consolidate, because we could have had the scenario right here. We was going to continue bullish, which still is in play. Like I said, until we break this structure right here, this structure is real close to this one, even though we did break it already, but this is the first candle. So I would like to see the daily continue and break below, strongly below 65.50 to really be like, okay, the bears are really here, because we could easily turn right back around and go back up. So yeah, we did break below this low, but it's anybody game still. Yeah, so I would say for sure we gotta let this week play out. Catch good entries. I'm not too, I'm kind of leaning more towards the sales, honestly, for this week until the bulls show me something. Like, if anything, just looking off what last week did on NFP. If I pull out my fibs and just see what the halfway line from that last push lower, the market could and potentially has every right to come as high as to 66.30 for a retest to continue lower. But if we show signs that we're gonna get bullish closures above this on the 1 hour and the 4 hour, then yeah, things could be totally different. It could be a totally different situation.
I agree, man. I like it. Yeah, just let it play out. We know what happened last week. We know that super engulfing, that happened on the daily, the weekly, all damn time frames. That happened on one day because of one day.
Yep.
Was that news strong? Was it the truth? Yes. So, don't treat it. I wouldn't treat it as a fake out. I would treat it almost as like the market letting us know what type of situation we're in right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's look at the DXY and see what that did.
I bet that just look crazy.
Yeah, the DXY still kind of within their consolidation range, if you want to talk there, but it's not as strong as it can be, because it could just continue higher, and that'll be somewhat of a weaker range. Like, it didn't develop as much as Australian dollar did. But I would say the Australian dollar, I mean, compared to the DXY, I know it's hard to compare because that's just the dollar compared to the Australian dollar. But we do have cleaner traffic, somewhat to sell into, versus the DXY going bullish. I don't know if that means anything, but we have yet to see bullish structure broken on the DXY when the Australian dollar already broke structure right here. I would say this is probably one of the strongest structures as far as the bullishness for the break, because it got tested here. It didn't break, but it did get tested here. So that was showing signs of weakness, if you will. But this one ain't got tested yet. So once that one breaks, yeah, that bitch made a new high.
Jeez, the squeeze. Motherfucker is running.
Yesterday, new fucking high. 53.78. Wow.
That's crazy.
What you think about futures trading versus trading indices? Are they one and the same?
I think I never, did it. So I really honestly don't know, but I would think they would be all the same.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
They're doing wrestling training upstairs, man.
Huh?
Like I said, they're doing wrestling training upstairs. Like I got
Damn.
a neighbor that live above me, boy. Yeah, they be walking. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like that, man.
Nah, see, Bitcoin still in their range. XRP is doing what XRP does.
Yeah, XRPs. Yeah.
Basic attention coin. Nvidia just recently made a new high. That's why the S&P.
That's not a question.
That's crazy. That bitch look just like the S&P.
Facts.
NASDAQ, Dow Jones kind of playing within the range. Yeah, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. It's a lot of money getting moved around. Do you have your hand in it? That's the question.
That is the question. Yeah, we are definitely moving now. I don't know what that was, but that really made some movement happen in the chart. So
Talking about Australian dollar?
NFP, yeah, oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
it happened last week. That really kind of showed it. So speaking on the markets, but so we're gonna see. We're gonna see what this week, what it's gonna be like. We definitely have, we have some sense of direction, I think. And I'm just looking at the larger time frames now. Either way, like you said, we got clean traffic. Either we're pretty much in space to the left on the downside, and then now we got some clean areas to eat up on the. I mean, I'm talking small time frame. I'm talking the 1 hour and shit. Like get in early, scale into it. By all means. But
What would make you get into buys?
a 4 hour engulfing.
So 1 hour engulfing tester will get you into buys?
Yeah, I guess so.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'll do my 1 hour tester because I'm still kind of in sales still, so it'll have to do something great for me to break out of that. But
I'm still more than sales too.
but yeah, We just got, yeah, I would wait for something like that, honestly. And even if it does, like you said, it would be test. Like, let's say, uh, I'd get a 4 hour engulfing. It would have to be super, super sweet. Like, even then, I would put in a tester because it's kind of early. So I would want some type of, give me engulfing, and then it'll kind of like retest and then bounce up and play around, create some type of consolidation, if you will. And once it gives me another engulfing and it breaks out of that consolidation in that same engulfing with clean traffic to the left, because now you got some little space in between it, So I like those, especially when I'm trying to like catch some ridiculous areas. Um, but yeah, I would let it play out right now because I'm just really, really, um, I'm bearish. I'm pretty bearish right now. Like, granted, this is a prime 4 hour engulfing. Like, if it would close right now, so I look at that type of stuff. So,
So
um,
sandwich.
no, the full and that too. Yeah, that could be a possibility, but it'll have to.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm looking at the 1 hour, but
Oh
it'll
yeah, no, yeah, the full hour, yeah, that right there. But yeah, you look at the full hour engulfing, and if that plays out, that's kind of sweet. That's not a bad setup. So yeah, that's still got to take that. But yeah, um, it won't be as heavy as I usually because it's like you trying to find that bottom. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'll let that one. I'll go a little light on it. If it turns up, then it turns up. Great. My test will be just a little bit bigger if you think about it like that, because it just confirmed on the 4 hour. But these sales are still like looking good. Hold on, I'll be right back, bro.
There you go. Yeah, that's basically what we've been talking about. Not only waiting for price to break out of structure when we looking to take the other side of the move, but just basically looking at our method for getting to a trade is the bullish color change engulfing scenario. And we have an indicator, which is not available to the public, unfortunately. But all these arrows, let me see, 'cause I'm supposed to, I'm gonna change this to make the arrows bearish candles above, bullish candles below. Bam. So all the arrows you see below will be a bullish engulfing, and the candles above would be a bearish engulfing. Letting you know to take a sell. Obviously, the best opportunities are when the market is met with a previous high or previous low. So a previous high would be a good opportunity to look for sales, meaning like this scenario worked out better for you. Of course, if you had your stops tight, that would have been stopped out for you. But nonetheless, you acquired the right side of the move. Nonetheless, ultimately, that's what happened. And subsequently, the bullish engulfings from a previous low, meaning the market created a low, went higher, came back down to retest this low, and then gave you a bullish engulfing. You would tend to take those trades going up with targets probably near one of the recent highs. So the market would trade high, you would take profit here, take profit here easily. If it runs, it runs. And what will get you out of the trade is an opposing bearish engulfing. So once you see this, you could either take partials or just get out of the trade, expecting that the market is going to continue lower, which ultimately it didn't. And from that, formed another bullish engulfing that goes in line with this trend. It's also bouncing off of this old resistance, now turn support. So you could have traded that and targeted this wick high or these open and close wick high right here for a short little profit. But money is money. That's the thing about it. Every time you grow profit, your equity grows, so you got more soldiers to put into the war.
That is a fact. Profit is profit.
Profit is profit. So you just want to look for those scenarios around recent lows and recent highs, and those tend to work out. I mean, just it's all of the math. I mean, if you got targets way at an opposing low, and you get a signal that's showing you a bearish engulfing at a high, that would tend to play out. And now, what? Not only would it play out, but it'll be a larger scenario for profits because yeah, you get profitable sales near lows or mid range of zones and shit. But the big money trades are the ones that's taken at uh, recent lows, strong recent lows. Like if you get a double touch and then you get another retest, those are good confirmations to take those entries opposing and targeting the opposite side. That's basically what we call a consolidating market, which, like we kind of discussed last time, which is the market ranges more than they trend. But when a daily market is ranging, the 1 hour is trending. You feel me?
Yeah, that's a fact. Yep.
So,
That's actually a good situation if the daily and weekly or whatever are ranging, and it's just, yeah, that's like those bing bings that Six was talking about. That's what that is.
and if the daily is trending, then on a lower time frame, you should just hope that you held on to one of those lower entry trades and
Yep.
you're riding that wave.
Yep.
Other than that, it'll feel as if every trade you take that's in the direction of the trend just magically works out, and it works out fast. But
Really fast. Yeah. You'll catch volume. Yep.
yeah, you'll catch volume. You'll be catching trades at times you probably ain't supposed to be trading, which is a rule you don't want to start to break. But you would tend to see those trades just work out. Like you catch an entry at 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock, and the motherfucker just beam in your direction.
Thanks.
Maybe do a pullback, but you only, in drawdown maybe 5-10 pips max. But yeah, that scenario is when, like you said, the daily is trending.
Yep. Yeah, it's gonna be another good week, man. These last couple of weeks, it seemed like the volume has been picking up to me.
Yeah, yeah.
It's gonna be a
It's been,
very, very hot summer.
it's been consistent. That's another thing. We
I mean, there's so much stuff going on. Like it's crazy if you think about it. It's been crazy.
yeah.
Like all markets are going nuts.
Yeah. I mean, and then you got to look at what I think, which is key, what a lot of people don't talk about, especially with the markets and the economy. I really think, even though we gotta look at last year's numbers and we gotta go from last month, last quarter. But I really think all people's, as far as they're like where they stand as far as comparison to other sectors or other companies, like all these different companies that make up the economy. I feel like a lot of people should be solely looking at where they stand from 2018, 2019. I feel like 2020 through current times is all a fluff. You saying that you rose or you gained in profit through this time, I feel like I feel like you should, because it was a lot of unprecedented type support that helped these companies kind of catapult themselves into where they are now through the pandemic times. Like there's a lot of wealth shared, just printed up type shit. And that inflection of money wasn't here in 2019. We were just gone with the flow. Like normal shit. Like I don't even know if Nvidia would have been where they at if it wasn't for the pandemic. But it's kind of difficult to do that because I mean, like I said, everybody judges growth from a quarterly, last quarter, last month, last year type of standpoint. But I think a lot of those numbers are fluffed. I think a lot of the stock market prices, a lot of these profits that the companies are reporting, all this shit is like fluff. It's all from printing money, which goes into why this balloon that's being created is probably going to be, if not the last one, the biggest one we ever seen. And, you know, so far in our lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's gonna be it's a nice gumbo that's being brewed. So much stuff going on, man. Like I said, it's just a combination of shit. So, yep, you're right.
Especially with them talking about like the job market, you know, it's hard to say, yeah, we added more jobs. That's a good thing, but it's not a good thing when you're trying to get inflation down.
And nobody wants jobs.
And nobody want jobs. So who? And then not only that, like it'd be like, okay, yeah, the job numbers are gonna look good around April, May, June, July. And you know why? Because a lot of kids are taking breaks and spring break, so they're getting jobs. So yeah, them numbers are gonna look good, but you can't go like, oh, the economy is doing better. Nah, nigga, because wait till August numbers come out and September numbers come out.
True.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And we really see, you know, was that just a move, or was that just the flow of the year, how the year tends to happen? Like we tend to get that uptick. So
Yeah, man.
yeah, we might get that retest early, boy.
We might, or the market just gonna do what it do.
Yeah, the market gonna do what it do, but I'm looking for a nice retest up to, you know, just the even number 66 flat, but at least a like 65, 95. And if we get some type of signs of bearish engulfings on a 1 hour, yeah, I kind of want some of that.
Oh yeah, yeah, I like that.
For sales.
To get back into sales.
Yeah, because I'm still sitting on like tester positions right now.
Yeah.
From way up there. And I ain't gonna lie, I was so close to about to close that position I had from the beginning of it, but I still got that bitch open.
Wow.
And it went all the way to break even. Like this push up that we just experienced in fucking May.
Yeah.
It went all the way up to break even to that trade.
That's crazy. And then just recently, crazy drop.
Crazy drop.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Shit is crazy.
Yeah, this is a nice bullish engulfing candle that's about to close though. But you know, like I said, it needs to be clean traffic to the left, and it's closing right to that shit. That's why it's fighting to break through that.
Yeah.
On the 1 hour, just up to the left. So yeah, man, we're gonna just let it wait. But yeah, as far as like the whole bullish, if I'm what I'm looking for, if something happen, it'll have to happen on the 4 hour for me to even
Think about it.
Yeah, even think about it.
Yeah. Which we have 3 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours let that happen. So yeah, we could see what happens. And if it does, like I said, this really wouldn't be a bad one.
No, big day.
You know, realize that you have news every time. So when news come out, put your take profit at a nice sweet area. You know, I don't care if you know for sure that news take you out. Well, good. You know, and then if it goes all the way down to where if you would have stayed in that trade, you would have been -10 or something like that. You might can get back in and then run it back up after news just, you know,
Right.
the way it reacted to the news release, and just get in right after, you know, the run in. But that's advanced. That's really advanced. So I'm not gonna go trip on that. Just let the news play out.
Yeah. And then, like I said, you know, really, if you believe in sales, I would look for a scenario to get in sales. But if you can't find that scenario by Wednesday morning, then just kick back.
I like that. Yeah, because Wednesday morning gonna let you know something.
Oh, it's gonna let you know something, man. It's gonna follow. It's gonna let you know something all the way until Thursday night. Because Thursday morning gonna let you know something. It's gonna be a continuation from what Wednesday did, or a retrace. You might catch a fire if you don't catch no entries by Monday, Tuesday. You might catch a fire entry Thursday night, going into London to close out the week. But yeah, man, I guess we just, like we always do, keep an eye on everything and update what we update. Keep everybody in the loop as best as we can, and yeah, keep going to that shit, man.
Yeah, man, you already know. Man,
Okay.
it's a long game.
Yes.
You know, you play, you treat it right, it'll treat you right. So yeah, don't force anything. Don't rush the process. Um, whatever setup it is that you follow it, and give it some time. You know, don't get mad if it don't work out the first 3 days, the first week, or something like that. You know, give it some time. Give it 3 months at least. Like literally. Um, I would say even if that worked, then I'll be like, okay, can you do it for 2 years? You know, it's just like give it some time, because you go have different type of, market cycles and stuff. And so any people, which is rare, that have been trading before and after the pandemic, is probably not, it's not the same person. If you traded before and then a pandemic happened to you,
If
yeah,
you're still in it, shit.
that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people didn't make it out of that. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of people got in during, and then they got tossed up afterwards. So it's long, man. It's long, but yeah, man, we go always, like I said, tap in on Telegram. But y'all know what it is, man. We definitely will be tuned in to this pair. Trading one pair can go a long way. All that, by all means, for the professionals, and like in the future, I can see us dabbling into other things. But yeah, man, if you want to really test it on one. And you can like perfect your your system, and hopefully that can just transition to a different pair easily and translate the same. But yeah, man.
Yeah, I like that, brother. Let's see how this market plays out. Wouldn't be too shocked for a bullish move in 4 hours to get engulfing, but um, yeah, after that move on Friday, um, I would like to see a continuation for sales, but I'm kind of unbiased right now because the bearish move did a lot on one day.
It's a new week. Yep.
2 week did a lot on one day, so we need more. We need more continuation. So we for sure need a pullback. Sure need a retrace bullish, and then we need some signs of bearish engulfings on the 1 hour, 4 hour, and then we could get that continuation. Other than that, you can't be dismissive of the fact that we got clean traffic to the left on the 4 hour. So we could easily push back higher and trade right back into this range.
That's a fact, man.
So let's monitor that, and then we're gonna keep it pushing, brother.
That's a bet, brother. Well, you already know, man. Holla at me.
All right, bro. Peace out.
Peace.